Welcome to Navajo County Connection. I'm your host, Darrell Seymore, Supervisor for District 4. Today our guest is Katie Chi with the WIC Program Manager and Crystal Sewell, Community Nutrition Educator. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Glad to have you here today. This is exciting. And before we start, I just have to give a moment tribute though. This is my last show with Mel, behind the back studio, Mel West of the city of Show Low, who has done so great here with the city and kept inside. I know I'm going to say it wrong, Mel. City 56, or, you know, there's so many things there that he's done to help bring things in the community to reality for people that can tune in and watch. And so, Mel, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your years of contribution to the community here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, Katie and Crystal, today we're going to talk about WIC. Why don't you guys identify what WIC is exactly, and we'll go from there.
So WIC is an acronym actually, and it stands for Women, Infant, and Children. So basically what we are is we are a nutrition program, and we do a lot of nutrition education, and we try to give tips to help mamas and their babies to have like a better start in life. My favorite part is we offer nutrition foods, so that way we know that development between that pregnancy to age 5 is like the most important developmental time for these babies. And so we're trying to make sure that we're meeting those needs, especially for the populations who don't have access to as many resources as they could because of their circumstances. So that's where we fit in. And WIC, even though it says women, infant, and children, it actually is for any guardian that has a baby up to age 5 or starting kindergarten can qualify for the program if they meet certain qualifications. And then my favorite part is because of the women, we get to start education and setting them on making small goals so that they can have a healthy pregnancy, so that baby gets a healthy start when they grow. And then we follow up with the mom anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on how they want to feed their baby, because moms are hugely important in that family unit. You know, they're expected to take care of so many things, and if we can keep mom healthy, not only physically but mentally, then we have a better outcome for those kids by the time they get into their school age. So
you don't give any special capes, although a mom should have a special cape that says I'm mom and everything, because you know, I somehow I think, you know, mothers should have had an extra set of arms, an extra set of eyes, although I think they do have. But
my kids are convinced I still have eyes in the back of my head.
And things there with moms in that way. Well, that's great. Crystal, you have different roles in this program. What is your role with WIC?
So my position at WIC is I'm a community nutrition educator, which means I get paid to play with babies. As Katie mentioned, we do pregnant women up to and postpartum women up to 6 to 12 months, and kiddos up to age 5. So I get to be a part of that journey. I get to be a part of, you know, making sure that mama is healthy, she has a healthy pregnancy, providing her those supports, the societal supports, not just nutrition, which is hugely important, but we're also here for breastfeeding support. We're also here for community support and to answer any questions that mama may have. You know, developmentally, is this normal? Is this something that I should be concerned about? And it's such a blessing to be able to watch these mamas come in. A lot of times they're first-time moms, they're nervous, and you get to join them on that journey where you get to go through the pregnancy with them. You know, when they find out if they're having a boy or a girl, they'll call me and say, I just want to let you know I got my doctor's appointment, I'm having a little boy, and I get to celebrate with them. We get to be there to celebrate that birth and to watch that kiddo grow, to watch mom grow in her confidence, and to watch kiddo grow from this itty bitty baby all the way up to age 5. And it's amazing.
Okay, to qualify, is it a financial qualification? Is it a need base? I mean, what are the parameters?
So basically it's if you're on any of the government assistance programs such as Access, SNAP, or food assistance, Section 8 housing, those are automatic qualifiers.
Okay.
If you're not on those, then we go based off your gross income and how many is living in your family unit. And you can always go to the azwic.gov and pull that information up too.
Now, what items does WIC provide that maybe is not provided through some of these other government things? Is there duplication of the same thing, or does WIC offer something that's just unique to WIC?
So I believe it's something definitely unique for WIC. You know, with the other programs, there's not as many boundaries, but with WIC, you know, we have our nutrition education that hits on different topics that might be whatever the parent or the guardian wants to talk about, but our benefits are all backed by nutrition values. They're going to give them the best of iron, proteins, vitamins, carbs, dairy, and those kind of products, so that we're meeting that nutrition value.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the huge benefits of WIC is we don't just say, okay, these are the foods you can get, eggs, cheese, whole grains, that kind of thing. We explain how to incorporate them into your family meals in a way that benefits you and your kiddos, in a way that helps provide more health benefits than just saying, okay, here's X amount of dollars, go shopping. We're providing those nutritious foods. We're encouraging how to use them. We're a education support more than anything for our clients.
Because I think really, as you hit on it, the 0 to 5, the growth of an infant at that time, it's also the brain cells, all of that is expanding and growing at a rapid pace. I mean, it's amazing that our computer inside our head develops and grows so quickly, and it reaches its potential at a very, very young age. And so what we can do to help nourish that and nutrition that, so that it gives the most optimum opportunity to learn and to grow. Because where they say a kid learns most of everything he knows by a certain age too.
Yeah, that's what they say.
At a very young age.
Yeah.
You know, they
Absolutely. And exposure to those healthy foods at a young age has major long-term benefits. Kiddos who have more fruits and vegetables, more whole grains at a younger age are more adventurous eaters at an older age, and they don't eat as many processed foods. So if we can get them off to that healthy start, it's not just healthy from 0 to 5, that's healthy through their whole life. And that creates a pattern where they also feed their kids more healthfully. So our healthy kiddos turn into healthy families, turn into a healthy community.
Okay. How do you see, as far as in Navajo County here, some of our statistics? You have statistics that, you know, what percentage of infants maybe are accessible to WIC or have that need of being able to help with there? So
there was a recent email that was sent out from our state WIC, Arizona State WIC office, and they're actually trying to do a WIC initiative to do a bunch of different new things in there, and they're saying the average of 65% of all babies born in the USA are on WIC services. And so we know that we're still falling short. There are still other babies out there that either they just don't know about the WIC program, or they don't understand how to qualify for the WIC program, or they don't know what WIC offers. We could still totally help educate and help them benefit, get that healthy start. But 65% of all babies being born in the United States to be on WIC is still pretty impressive. It is. But we know we got more work to do in Navajo County. We could definitely help a lot more. What are some of the supportive things that you offer? You know, a new mother here, she's starting out. You guys, shared with me earlier before we started here, the breastfeeding and that topic of how it's changed or evolved from, pioneer days, I guess, that everybody did that, to now we have all the synthetic different ways of doing it. But share with us some of the different things that are available out there as far as nutrition from the mother and benefits of breastfeeding. So I'll let her touch on the breastfeeding, but as an overall, so WIC is not just a nutrition program, we're also a referral program. So we have a lot of connections with a lot of the different resources as well. First things first, we reach out to doctors' offices, nursing, the different nursing offices in the county. So we will, whatever we're doing an assessment with our families, and we're hearing these little bits and pieces that they say, that they're in need of, or they would like more information of, we'll make those referrals to those community members so that they can get, whatever they're going to be needing. And then we just now, maybe 6 months old, we just now became part of a breastfeeding peer counseling team. We've never had that in Navajo County. It's just been the WIC office, and then whatever their office, whatever local groups we had, which wasn't very many. And so to have this breastfeeding peer counsel referral program now is benefiting our clients hugely. We have a really high success of our clients accepting the breastfeeding peer counselors, and they can actually be referred during pregnancy, because there's a lot of questions before pregnancy about breastfeeding or myths that they heard that we can definitely, kind of help them understand and to overcome and let them decide if that's the route they want to go, is to breastfeed. But I'll let her tell you more about the breastfeeding program that we have.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As Katie mentioned, we did just become part of a breastfeeding peer counselor program, and I think it's been a huge boon to our pregnant mamas, not just our first-time mamas. A lot of times women have had difficulty breastfeeding one child and they think, well, I can't do it because I had a hard time with another child. That's where breastfeeding peer counselors can come in and really help fill in that gap and provide more education and more support. We have breastfeeding peer counselors. We have one who exclusively pumped for, I can't remember if it was 2.5, 3.5 years, several years. We have breastfeeding peer counselors that tandem nurse, so they had an older child and a younger child, one that breastfed with multiples. There's so many different variables out there, and whatever our clients are going through, we have a breastfeeding peer counselor who has been there and they understand and they can guide them. Breastfeeding is a huge benefit, not just for babies. We do know that infants who are exclusively breastfed have fewer illnesses, fewer ear infections. They are less likely to die of SIDS, less rates of obesity, and they have generally healthier lives. So yes, it's great for baby, but it's also great for mama. If mom has been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, breastfeeding can actually eliminate her risk of developing diabetes later. It can help eliminate her risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, and it's been shown to have huge benefits for mama and long-term benefits, not just while we're breastfeeding our babies, but it has those long-term benefits for our little ones and for our mamas. I am super excited to be able to say that along with our breastfeeding peer counselors and all the hard work that the WIC staff has done, we were recently honored of having the highest breastfeeding rates in the state of Arizona. So that's something that we're very proud of.
Well, that's interesting to hear all of those things and understand that you're offering a service that a lot of people had to just learn on their own or by accident or by just today there's technology that help us learn, but a lot of people never had anybody consult with them or help them at all. It was the first time experience.
Exactly, and that's something that WIC is really great for, because we have a lot of mamas who, well, my mom wasn't able to breastfeed or my mom formula fed. Because 20, 30 years ago, that's what it was. That was what the big trend was. We formula feed, it's nutritionally superior. We have learned so much since then. So we're able to kind of stand in that gap and help our new mamas, because they say, well, I asked my mom and she doesn't know.
Yeah.
We're here, let's work this out together. Let's guide you. Let's work for this, work together. And we are not, we're here to support you however you decide to feed your kiddo. We just want to make sure that you have all the information on the benefits of breastfeeding.
Right.
They're saying that the moms that choose to breastfeed, it actually economically can save overall government hospitals thousands and millions of dollars, because you're going to have less sicknesses. You're going to have less days off from work to take care of your babes. And like she said, it can prevent a lot of diseases and the different cancers and things like that later on in their life, obesity, and we know all the different things that can come from obesity. So it actually can save millions of dollars long term if you're able to breastfeed. And we know some moms are it's just physically not able to, and so like she said, we're going to support them on what they want to do to how to feed their baby. But we're just super excited to have that breastfeeding peer counselor team, and WIC, that's what we learned. Breast is best if you can go that route. So.
No, that's awesome. You talked about WIC can help you here. So where is WIC? How do they find WIC? Do you have a physical office? Do you go online? What are some of the ways of of
So
getting
there's a
touch
lot
with
of
you
new
guys?
ways.
Okay.
We've definitely gone hybrid right now, which has been really beneficial in so many ways because we have a lot of barriers for clients to get into the office, whether it's they live so far out, they've got so many children to load in their car and get back, or broken vehicles or whatever, they're sick. So now we can do virtual, telephonic, and in-person on request appointments, but we have 5 locations. We have an office in Winslow, Holbrook, Snowflake, Heber, Shello, and once we get back to seeing clients in person full time, we do have a little sub outlet in Pine Top again. Yeah, so we're super excited about that one, just because they don't have to travel so far. They can call all of our offices. They can go to the county website, the health department, go into the WIC tab. All of our office information is there. We have a new portal that the state just opened up, and it's called, it's brand new. She's got it memorized.
myazwic.com.
Yes. So you can actually go to mywicaz.com. and
myazwic.com.
Yes. You can actually create your whole account and upload documents that would we require. And then we check that at least daily or at least weekly, depending on our caseload, how many people we're seeing that day, and then we'll contact you. We have a new email that we just got created through the county, so they can reach us directly through an email, and that's wic@navajocountyaz.gov. And then they can go to azwic.gov and find our locations there too. So there's plenty of ways to find us. We try to get our information out to doctors' offices, outreach events, access, all the different entities around here. We try to get some kind of a flyer or information out there to reach us. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just, you hear WIC and trying to understand exactly what it was. A lot of people probably identified it as a milk program for some way or something at one time, and they don't really understand it's for the women, the infant, the children, and then to understand that even men or guardian, as you explained, gives you that benefit. I think there's also some vegetables and fruits or something that can be purchased, and what all can be bought with WIC.
I'm going to kind of backdate just a little bit.
Okay.
So we don't do checks anymore, which is huge. We now use a debit card, just like an EBD card, that all the products will go onto, and you can actually just go do all your shopping at once. You don't even have to separate anything out like in the old days. You just gotta let your cashier know that you're using it, and you can take it off. But we do eggs. You help fill in where I'm at. So we've got eggs, cheese. We have yogurt now. We have juices. We have cereal. We have whole grains now, which is not before. And the grains isn't just bread. It does pasta, rice, and tortillas. Fruits and vegetables right now, because of the pandemic, they're getting $35 per qualifying family member. Normally it's $11 for pregnant moms, and then $9 for children. We do cereal. Am I missing anything else? I said the yogurt.
Milk.
Yes, and milk, and the milk. So
does it help with anything like diapers or any of that stuff? It's just strictly nutritional.
It is strictly nutrition. We can't help with diapers. However, if you are a breastfeeding mama and you are going to be separated from your kiddo, you're going to school or to work, we can assist you with a breast pump.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff there.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, just to be able to assist and help. I mean, there's so many young newlyweds or women who maybe they've had 1 or 2 children and never, because they were working and never thought about, breastfeeding now and those different things that offers, or somebody that just needs some extra assistance and education. I think the value that you offer there is every much as value as what you offer maybe in product or something that can help offset people a little bit too. That's neat.
Thank you. That's one of the things that I love most about WIC is that connection that you build with people, that bond that you develop with the families. I had a little kiddo come in the other day, Miss Crystal, I've missed you, and ran up and gave me a hug, and it's like, oh, this is a little kiddo in my 2 years of being with WIC, I've watched, grow up a little bit. Now they're 4, and so getting to have that bond with that family, and that also gives us a chance to understand what's going on with that family. And like Miss Katie mentioned, we are a referral program as well. So we build that bond, we develop that trust, and so we're able to direct our clients to different referral services. Okay, we're having a hard time paying rent this month. Okay, well, let's direct you over here, that kind of thing. So that's one of the things that really sets WIC apart, is that bond we develop with our clients.
Is it something that a person would have to requalify for each child, or is it once you're on WIC, are you on for a period of obviously till that child becomes 5 or something, but how do you guys monitor that?
So we do recertification every year.
Every year?
Every
Okay.
year, yeah. And then we just go, see if they're still on any of those adjunct eligibility programs through the federal government, or we go by their gross income. And so, but we do that every year, but we're working on extending that to 2-year periods, because we especially know there is a myth, and it is kind of not a myth, but most people only get on it because of the formula, because formula is so super expensive. But so once they turn 1, we don't usually see them anymore. But if we can, we're working with the federal government right now to get those extended to 2-year certifications, because that transition from that infant to the 1-year-old is huge, because they're coming off formula and baby foods onto regular foods, and so that is a huge transition for them, and that's where we can really benefit on the education and teaching them, expose them to as many food as you can now, so they won't be choosy, or the importance of making sure they're getting their iron-rich foods in there, because they're not getting the iron through their formula anymore, or the breast milk. So we just, it's a really transition phase that a lot of parents miss out because of that recertification at 1 and the formula stops.
So with having 30 grandkids, if I have picky grandkids, I can go back and blame the mom. Or
how did you feed them?
How did you feed this kid when you're the reason for this and stuff? Well, that's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sharing that with us today, and hopefully we've helped some people out there, and success stories are always exciting to hear, and people are changing, and it's a program that really benefits the people in our community. So we hope that any of our listeners are able to, find some information today that can be helpful, and like you say, the referral, and it's who you know and what you know, and pass that along. So thank you so much.
We love the kiddos, so bring them on over.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today on Navajo County Connection, and we'll see you next month. Have a great day.